everybody, Johnny B. here. Good evening, greetings from Des Moines, Iowa. Local time here is 7:05 Central. Temperature is at 87 degrees. We are down to 1 hour and 20 minutes available to drive. But we're going to be doing our 34-hour reset at the pilot here in Altoona, which is only 22 miles away. Alright, what else is there? Yep. Come midnight tonight, I have 0 hours on my recap, so we're gonna have to do a 34-hour reset. I don't know where Lisa and Jason are. I hope they're available this weekend, or actually tomorrow. Well, whichever. Okay, what else is there? I'd like to say greetings and hello to who called me today. Casey Doss called. Who else? Bill Mathis called. Sean Curry called. Laura Smith called. Sorry guys, just no video, no Johnny B. Good radio show today. My focus has been on something else. I thought I'd give you guys a break. Anywho, by the way, if you guys are motorcyclist enthusiasts, you know, mainly Goldwings or any motorcycle, the Wingman has always been my favorite. And recently I have discovered a guy, I think his name is Memphis Mike. He's got a really nice channel. He hasn't been doing it too much, but type in why I bought a Goldwing. He's got some really nice video in that one, and the audio is just incredibly clear. Alright, what else? And there's a lot of for technical issues on a Goldwing how-to videos. Type in Cruise Man. Cruise as in cruise control. Cruise Man. I've learned a few tricks from him. For example, I've learned how to do an oil change on my Goldwing. Save a lot of money that way. If I have enough hours to looks like we could actually make it there. We got 1 hour and 15 minutes available to drive. It's only 70 miles, which is 1 hour and 8 minutes. I think we're just gonna do that. That way, come Tuesday morning, whenever we're on 34-hour reset is done, we can actually get some fuel, free coffee from the TA, of course. I can still squeeze in 69 miles. I think. Yeah, we'll do that. I was hoping to meet Lisa and Jason, but I don't know. They could be busy. Besides, I'm not really that tired yet, so. What else is there? How about we call Laura Smith?
Hello?
Good afternoon. May I speak to Laura Smith?
This is Laura speaking.
Hey Laura, Johnny Be Good here.
How are you?
I am doing just fine. How about yourself?
Oh, good. I guess you're on your way home now, huh?
A little bit. I got like 1 hour and 6 minutes a bit to drive yet, and then I had to sit for 34 hours, and then come probably around midnight on Tuesday, I'll start delivering, be in Wisconsin somewhere around 7 o'clock at night. Yeah, in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah. So how you been?
Well, pretty good. It's been raining here for the past, 2 or 3 days, and I'm about to climb the walls because I can't get outside when it's raining. And, yeah, it's been kind of lousy weather here for Florida. I just called. Guess who I called?
Who?
Barbara Miller.
You called Barbara Miller? Wow.
Yeah, I had to find out. I wanted to look at her. Finally found her site, got on it, and I just gave her a call, see. I wanted to see if she did jewelry, but she said she didn't.
Now, did I lie about her website being real nice?
Fantastic. She's quite the artist.
Yes, she
I guess
is.
she's self-taught also.
BarbieMo.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got it.
So what happened next? I would imagine you guys are both quite thrilled to meet each other. At least
I told her, I don't think she knew who I was right at first, but then I told her, about, the interview that we had, and she said, oh, yeah, now I remember. So, so we talked for a little while, and I found out she's part Cherokee, and I had Cherokee blood in me also.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to find out what tribe she was descended from, and she said Cherokee. So I could tell she looks very much. I could tell by her features. She has we have that in our family too, the real wide cheekbones.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there's a lot of them out there in Oklahoma. I don't know. I can't remember that tribe what they are. I think they're in the Ozarks. They're in Illinois, and they're in That's where their territory was, because my grandpa was from southern Illinois, and there were a lot of Cherokees there, and also in Arkansas, there's a lot of them. I think there's it's not a, I want to say settlement, reservation. I think there is a reservation, Cherokee reservation there. So, but we had a nice chat, and but I went online to look up and see if I could see any of my old Carney friends out there. But by gosh, I guess they're all gone. They're all retired.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and when I look at pictures of it now, I think, geez, how did I ever stand it with all of that noise and all those blinking lights and all the, the phoniness of it.
Yeah.
There's a phony side to show business.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got out of it when I did, though. I couldn't take it at my age.
Yeah.
It's just too, yeah. Are you doing the phone thing tonight?
You're actually on it. I forgot to.
Oh, am I?
I forgot
okay.
to mention that.
Yeah.
So, does the rain help on the humidity when you're in Florida?
Well, it cools it down for a while, and then, of course, it gets hot and humid again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cools it down for a while. Depends on which way the storm is coming from. I wish we got more of it from the north. We get once in a while, once in a blue moon, we get a little dry air somewhere from the north, but it doesn't last long here because we're right on the Gulf, and when that hot air comes from the Gulf of Mexico, we're cooked.
Oh, okay. So you're somewhere around St. Pete, maybe, or?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. That's a good guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I am. Yeah. I guess I'm going to die here. I don't know. Looks like I'm never going to. I tried going back up north, but it's never the same.
So when was the last time you traveled? I know you said you were born and raised in Racine, right? Or Kenosha, right?
Yeah. Kenosha, yeah.
When was the last time you were back there?
Oh, I think it was about almost 3 years ago. And I made the mistake of going up in May, and of course it was cold. I think it was 45 or something, 40 degrees, like that, and rainy. So I lasted 1 week and I came back. I just couldn't take it anymore,
Yeah. Now, will you still have relations and families up there?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers and a sister living there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're still doing pretty good, I guess. So, anyhow, I guess, and they would never leave there. I guess they like the snow. But I was watching one of your videos on a cookout. You were doing the bratwurst thing, and there was snow on your back porch.
Yeah.
So, you really must be hooked on bratwurst that you cook it in the snow.
Oh yeah.
I got a kick out of that,
Yeah, I got it bad. Yeah.
Well, my brothers too. They're hooked on it too up there. I mean, that's a big thing. Well, most of Wisconsin, but where you're from especially.
Yeah.
That's the main theme, I guess. It's a big deal up that way.
We're right there by Lake Michigan. In fact, my house is only 5 miles from Johnsonville. The maker of Johnsonville, which is the town, which is now a town of Johnsonville.
Have you ever been to Usinger's in Milwaukee?
What is it?
Usinger's, I think it's pronounced. Well, we pronounce it Usinger's, but in German they pronounce it Usinger's. I guess it's a restaurant, but they have sausage also that they make. Well, there's sausage and cheese and all that stuff in Milwaukee.
No. I'll have to Google search that. I'll have to.
Yeah. Have you ever done the Oktoberfest in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I've done the Oktoberfest, but I'm talking at least 15 years.
Yeah. Well, that I didn't tell you about it, but I watched that one video where I don't know if it was you and your wife or if you went alone, but you went into Chicago on your bike.
Yeah.
Wow, was that thrilling? Because I hadn't been to Chicago. The last time I was in Chicago, let's see, it was probably, maybe in the late 50s. I didn't recognize the place at all. It had changed so, from year to year video.
Yeah. It
looks like New York City.
It is. It's quite the metropolis now.
Yeah. We used to go in years ago on the North Shore line. It was electric liner train. And that was fun. We go to either Milwaukee or Chicago, either way, but that's all gone. That's been gone. God, they took that out. I think it was in '68 was the last year that ran. But it was a cheap way to travel, and I don't think they have any trains going up that way anymore.
From Chicago to Milwaukee, there's one train that goes up there. It's the Hiawatha by Amtrak. They still have that. Yep.
Well, there used to be, when I lived there, when I was a teenager, they had the Chicago Northwestern, and that went up to, I believe it went up to Green Bay all the way, because I know it went to De Pere, because I had a teacher that was from De Pere, Wisconsin, and she always took the train. She lived in Kenosha while she was teaching, but her family home was in De Pere. And I think she told me she traveled on the North Shore, on the Northwestern, and that's gone. They've discontinued that. That was owned by Great Britain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a British railway. In fact, it rode on the wrong side of the tracks, just like the cars do over there. Instead of riding on the right side, it would ride on the left side. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Now, do your families visit you in Florida, or?
No, they don't like Florida at all.
No, they don't. Can't stand the humidity, huh?
Yeah, that's it. They can't take the humidity. But I have to think what you said about the mosquitoes up there. Oh my God, I remember that. That was one. And when you call them what did you say? They were the state bird of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
I thought,
state bird.
How true that is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, we had a nice interview the last time, and there were about 6 or 7 comments. I was real surprised people liked to hear about the carnival and circus life, but as I get older, I forget a lot of it. It's kind of hard to remember some of the places we went, and I know there were a lot of crazy things that we did, or crazy things that would happen, and you had asked for suggestions, and I couldn't think of anything at the time. But I know you must have a lot of crazy things that happen on the road, and funny incidents that happen. That would be something to bring into the interviews. Talking about crazy. I know we had plenty of them on the road. You never knew what was going to happen out there. That was like one time I was talking to my niece about it. I had to work in the ticket box of a snake show. It was an illusion. Snake Girl, it was called, and it was an illusion. Well, they had to change. They had to close the show down periodically because they had to get a new girl to get in the box, to dress up like the snake. And so they closed these big curtains across the front of the show, and I saw this water leaking down along the front there. There's a belly cloth that goes along the bottom of the stage. And I thought, well, what the heck is that? Did our water hose break or what? And here was a whole crowd of people now waiting to go in, and I, of course, couldn't let them go in. So I got out of my ticket box and went down by the front of the show, and I lifted the belly cloth to see where the water was coming from. And here's a man's 2 shoes pointing at me. So a guy was taking a leak out behind the show.
Oh, boy.
And I had no idea what it was. Of course, they thought it was an act that we just put that on just to kill the time. But it was, but dumb stuff like that happened all the time. Really crazy stuff that you can imagine.
Well, have you ever figured out some of those illusions, the top secret that we're not supposed to know about? Have you ever explored how they did that, how they cut the bodies in half and the sword.
Well, actually, they had two bodies in there. They had two people in the box.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't one person in the box. The box was construed. The person that went in the back end of the box, the bottom end, that stuck their feet out, they were a contortionist, and they could double up into almost a ball, and they would stick their feet out of the bottom, and then the top person, of course, doubled up like a ball, and they just, the part of the body was the head and arms. And then, when they looked like they were sawing the box apart, it was just two people in it, you know.
They must be really small, small people. They can just squeeze in tight places.
And that one, you know, have you ever seen that trick where the lady gets up on the table saw and they cut her in half?
Yeah.
Well, I had to work at winter quarters one winter, and they were, because I did costuming and stuff, so I had to help out with some of the curtains and props and stuff. And they wanted to try the saw out, you know, and he says, come on, this is when I was skinny. I was much thinner, of course, than I am now. And they says, come on, get up on the table. We want to see how this thing works. And I didn't know they were going to turn it on. I just thought they wanted to see how the lock fits. Well, it happens at the table, well, when you lay on the table, your butt and that goes down into a little gully. So it's just your knees and your legs are sticking out in the top half on the other side. When they bring the cage down, it's partially covered, so it looks like your body is still in there. But you're actually sunken down in. Well, then here they turned the darn thing on, and I mean, I was scared to death because it feels like it was coming right over. You could feel the wind from the blade. You know, it's a real blade.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it doesn't, it's about maybe, an inch or so away from your body. It doesn't hit your body. So I found out how that one was. Of course, I was mad as the dickens at him because I didn't know he was going to turn it on. I thought he just wanted to see how the cage fit, you know. So I discovered that secret the hard way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I take it you're not going to go back to Wisconsin anymore, or you're still going to visit?
Well, they wanted me to come back this year, but I just couldn't. I've been having problems I've been having a lot of breathing problems since I've had this pacemaker put in, and I don't know why. I'm short of breath all the time, and I've got to see the doctor in another month to see what's going on. And I don't know what it is, but it's getting worse. I just can't seem to get my breath half the time, and of course, I had no business going out in the high humidity either, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to risk falling another time. You know, it's hell to get old, I tell you.
Well.
I didn't read.
So, what about your nieces and nephew? They don't come down and visit you?
Oh, no, they got their own lives. They're all scattered. I don't know where half of them live anymore. They're all grown up and got their own families. And I never see any of them. I've got one niece that lives in Shorewood in Milwaukee. Yeah. I hear from her occasionally, you know. But I don't see any of them at all anymore. I have a new family down here, you know. I have extended families, I guess you'd call it. So that's the way life is, you know. The Lord puts you wherever He wants you, I guess.
That's just something I could never get used to. Is the family structure in this country is
yeah, it isn't good. It isn't good at all. No.
It's almost really worse than strangers, you know.
Yeah, life is changing too rapidly here. It's frightening. I don't like what's happening in the world, and I don't think we're going to be around for too much longer, really. I think something's going to happen this year. I don't know what, but I've just got a very eerie feeling about it.
Isn't that like something you feel out of your gut that something big's going to happen? You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's just,
And so many of the cities, well, I was so surprised on every major city in this country. If you go through certain areas, they've torn down blocks and blocks and blocks of abandoned houses and abandoned. Even in Chicago, they tore down one of the elevated lines because it was the south side of Chicago. is, so many of the buildings and stores were all torn down. They were abandoned or burned or whatever, and nobody rode that particular line. I think it was called the Green Line, and it's completely torn down.
Yeah, even like in Louisiana after Katrina, it's never never really been rebuilt. It's never really recovered.
No, that's what I worry about here. The hurricanes. I hope and pray we don't. We've been lucky so far. Being right on the Gulf.
Yeah.
Never know. We just hope and pray. But one good thing about it is they give you enough warning you can get out.
Now,
if it's a tornado.
Is hurricane season just beginning or is it ending?
Well, usually at the end of August or September is when it really kicks in.
Oh,
but so
really? Okay.
Yeah, so far we've had drier air coming in from Africa, and so it's quiet in the, in that area of the ocean where they come across. So we haven't had a lot of. So far, so good.
How many of those hurricanes have you survived ever since you've lived in Florida?
Let's see, what was the one on the East Coast? That was the one that there's about 3 or 4, but they didn't hit here. They were on the East Coast, or they were further south from us. Charlie was the closest one. We thought that was going to hit us for sure. It looked like it was coming right up into Tampa Bay, but it hit further south.
What about
did a lot of damage.
Andrew was one of the big ones, right?
Yeah, that was on the East Coast. Yeah.
Oh,
that wiped out almost all of Homestead, and did a lot of damage. I can't remember which one. I was in Orlando the day that I think it was Charlie or one of them was coming in. I went with a group, church ladies, up to Orlando, and all at once the bus driver came in and said that they were warning people to get out, so we had to pile in the bus and leave right away because they thought it was coming there, but luckily it missed them too. You just never know, but at least you have quite a few hours to get out.
Now, do you live in a nursing home or a regular house?
No, I live with my niece.
Okay.
I'm living with a niece now.
Okay.
Thank God. Yeah. I have moved around a lot, and I don't know what I do without her.
Now, when was the last? When did you move to Florida?
Oh my goodness, it's been 30. Oh Lord, I came here in 1976, I believe it was, or 77. Yeah, 1977, and I've been here ever since.
Okay.
It took me a long time to get adjusted because it's a cultural shock. Things are just different up north. I was used to the transportation was better. Just all sorts of things that I was used to up there.
Sure.
When I came here, it was just completely different. It's just a whole way. It's kind of like California in the way, except that it has the humidity. Where California has the scenes that I've seen of the boulevard that you've gone down reminds me a lot of Florida because we have the palm trees and it's kind of spread out, the urban sprawl or whatever you call it, except we don't have mountains.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yep.
So.
Well, Laura, I appreciate talking with us again. And
thank you so much for calling. I'm delighted to hear from you. And I have to tell you about those sunset scenes that you shot in Missouri, I guess it was.
Yeah.
That was just beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. And when you're driving over that flat land, everything else stands out so.
Yes.
And have you noticed at night you can see a lot more stars?
Yes, definitely.
The sky seems so huge.
Yes.
Yeah. But I appreciate your calling. It means a lot to me. I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be, among your friends.
You're a very pleasant person to talk to. It's our pleasure.
And so are you.
All right,
I admire you.
We'll catch you some other time, Laura.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, and God be with you on your way home.
All right, God bless you, Laura. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, once again, that was Laura Smith all the way from St. Pete, Florida, and as you can see, she does not need any introduction or any doctoring, any encouraging. She does that on her own very well. Alright, well, we're gonna hang this up and we're gonna try to call I think Bill Mathis. I don't know how Bill feels about YouTube, but let's give him a call. We'll be right back. Local time is 7:36. Once again, today is Sunday, 7/26/2015.